name is Claude Morris III. It's our Unit 3 project for fire prevention and code enforcement. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Claude Morris III. I'm a firefighter here at the Terrytown Volunteer Fire Department. I'm here to discuss fire prevention with the council and the public that's here tonight for the meeting. I know the losses and anguish that come after fires destroyed your livelihood. Growing up, I've witnessed countless buildings burning down, businesses burning down, taking lives with them. That was the moment I knew I wanted to be a firefighter and help prevent such horrible incidents from happening, which is what brings me here today. I want to go ahead and discuss fire prevention with y'all. So, I'd like to begin by discussing the 3 E's of fire prevention: education, engineering, and enforcement. As firefighters, we've been adequately trained to put out fires, ensuring the safety of people and property. However, that's a highly reactive approach. What we prefer over fighting fires is a more proactive approach to preventing fires, prevention. This starts with proper awareness and knowledge of prevention through education, which is the first E of 3. Education primarily involves teaching, providing information, and raising awareness of how people can protect themselves, their homes, and their buildings, whether it be a shed or a restaurant, from fires. Education is also defined as activities that modify people's behavior to enhance safety from fires. Today, I'll provide information that will empower you to assess your fire safety prevention methods. Moving to the next E, we have engineering, right? Engineering is based on science and deals with the actions that utilize physical science to mitigate or reduce the impact of fire. For instance, some buildings can be made from highly flammable material. We strongly advise against using these types of materials through engineering controls so that we can eliminate the risk of that being a fire. We have brick here on this house. We also have wood. Wood is obviously a highly flammable material. Brick, not so much. When such materials catch fire, they become difficult to control. They can quickly get out of hand. And some other engineering controls that you can have are fire suppression systems, sprinkler systems, and hood vent suppressant systems, such as in restaurants. Enforcement is the final of the 3 E's that we have. Right? Very much like engineering, it also has a scientific process, but that involves the development of rules and regulations known as code. It is scientific due to the fact that before any code is developed, there must be evidence to support the need for that code to be written for the change. Engineering control of building structures with non-combustible materials is based on evidence of damage caused by combustible materials in the past, as well as proof that non-combustible materials significantly reduce the risk of fire. That's why we have codes that have changed from wood to masonry structures. The official enforcement is ensured by inspections from officials who have credentials and expertise in explaining the reasoning and severity of the codes and monitor adherence to them. These officials have the authority to take action to ensure compliance with these established codes. That brings us to our 3rd E, enforcement. These officials have the authority to take action to ensure compliance with established codes, including the power to shut down all operations in that area, whatever it may be: construction site, a restaurant, even a barber shop if they're not up to code, if it is warranted. In the state of Louisiana, the Louisiana Office of the State Fire Marshal is responsible for conducting all inspections and enforcing the fire prevention codes and the regulations. With the approval of the governor and the state legislature, the office is generally known as the Office of the State Fire Marshal, Code Enforcement, and Building Safety. The Assistant Secretary to the State Fire Marshal's Office is responsible for creating the rules and regulations that's in accordance with all federal and local jurisdictions and laws and legislature. that govern the enforcement of the various fire codes. For instance, for those who have boilers on their premises, you must know that the assistant secretary can access your premises where the boiler is being built to ensure that it's being built in compliance with all set standards and regulations. In addition to physical inspections of your home and building, fire codes can also be enforced through building permits, which will only be issued and remain in effect after the contractor/owner has proven compliance with all fire codes per the Louisiana State Code from the Louisiana Office of State Fire Marshal. The Assistant Secretary also has the power to issue penalties to your premise if you're found to be non-compliant with the required fire safety codes and requirements. These types of fines can be detrimental to a business, but not nearly as detrimental as a fire could be, because the total loss resulting from a fire. It's essential to understand that enforcement is carried out through collaboration of multiple agencies, including state, parish, and city governments, and their respective officials. With activities such as boilers, amusements, fireworks, and even in-home daycares, the parish or city municipality is authorized to require and issue local licenses to those individuals. They may also charge and collect fees for failure to comply, provided that the cost do not exceed those authorized by our state fire marshal. For individuals planning to construct a new building, you're expected to provide a plan for review. Plan for review is required for buildings that are being renovated or repaired, and those where the occupancy number is being changed. Additionally, note that in some cases where you plan to install a new air conditioning system, a review is going to be required to ensure the proper location of smoke detectors in compliance with the most up-to-date codes. There's special programs also for deaf individuals to focus on fire alarms and escape plans. In regards to fire resistance, though, the organization responsible as well is the State Fire Marshal, but in collaborating with licensed bodies of architects and engineers to conduct those specific evaluations. They work in conjunction with the parish's Fire Prevention Bureau here in Louisiana. They have the test for these building materials. They need to be carefully evaluated for fire safety. Factors considered are ignition temperature, flame spread, and smoke toxicity. The ASTM E119-20 is the most commonly used test to determine the suitability of building construction materials here in Louisiana. The test measures the transmission of heat, the ability of materials to withstand specific temperatures, and the transmission of hot gases. Please note that these tests are not comprehensive, as fires will have varying conditions, including ventilation, size of the affected structures, ignition source, fuels, and accelerants. Each building structure should meet the required test requirements described in all local and state fire enforcement codes in that area, with the minimum being federal guidelines. Thank you for your time today. Hopefully y'all might have learned something about fire prevention and help you prevent fires in your own home, business, and establishment.